I think a lot of people prefer playing on a wide screen, which you can actually activate by pressing select button without going into options like this. But I don't like stretched resolutions.
それでは次のニュースです。昨夜未明、市内各所で目撃された謎の生物の手がかりは依然つかめておらず、地域住民の不安が高まっています。目撃者の証言では、この生物について西洋の悪魔のような姿であるとする声も多く、現場周辺での調査が続いています。
Can I find some good news from these resets?
同夜起こった連続殺人事件との関連もあるのではないかとして、引き続き付近の住民に警戒を呼びかけています。
Have I perhaps learned something? Well, apart from moon phases at which you're entering dungeons are actually way more important than I'm making them sound like, but I knew that already-ish. The answers that you give here are important because depending on how many points you get giving different answers, the game doesn't tell you the number of points, they're somewhere in the background behind the scenes. You will get a different main character type, which basically governs the stats distribution. We want the one where it has a lot of agility, obviously, so that we can act earlier than bosses do. Here I'm gonna be adjusting moon phase to 1 to 8 before entering. It's not necessary for that purpose, but it is necessary so that the next dungeon will be completely empty when we enter it. It has to be 1 to 8 here, and 6 to 8 when we enter it. Like that. Now once we go through this small boss fight, we're gonna climb the top of the building without seeing a single encounter. The reason why we enter at 6 to 8 is so that full moon appears right on the next floor, and when full moon hits in this game, RNG progresses by 1 forward, and that allows us to skip an encounter, I think with Poltergeist here, right near this stairs. It's someone. Obviously we don't want it, because we can't recruit that demon anyway, it's just wasting time seeing it, so... And the reason why the RNG progresses on the full moon is that this game has a shop where you can exchange yen and magnetite, obviously. And it has an exchange rate in there. And that exchange rate changes every time full moon hits. Which progresses the RNG a bit forward. which sometimes can save you and sometimes can ruin you, depending on where you are and what you're doing. Come to think of it, it's also a place where we don't go anymore. I keep forgetting about it, but we don't visit that dude. Suspicious dude, if you ask me. Normally we would visit him to get some magnetite or Victor's fusions, but we don't go to Victor anymore. And we get just enough magnetite anyway from the game to sustain us for the whole run. But we just skip that as well. I don't even remember how to go there anymore, which is good. What was that place even called? I'm curious now. Organic Energy Association. Yeah, right. Yeah. Extremely suspicious name, but what can you do? That's why we should stay away, I think. Okay, the serious part starts now. Very serious slow walking. Say hello to Victor. And goodbye as well. In the previous route, I would also visit Konoya, which is the item shop, but not anymore. We visited it later. Next time we're in the Ginza. Don't forget about that environment and with the thing above. Thank you, Caddy. Cheers, mate. Did you perhaps talk so that nobody diffuses? Not yet. What the? Okay, Pixie recruited. Man, I've been here for nearly 3 hours with no results. Good God. Slightly shameful display, but happens. I was just taking this slightly slower and maybe a bit more serious. I would already be free, but I don't know. It's hard to be serious when you're pointing your webcam at the console and not a piece of cheese. Pew, 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 pew. Right, back to Ginza, but this time I'm actually visiting the shop. More or less. Fourteen, 6, 10, 1. To get the ritual for Ray, so she can acquire some powers. Have a choice of 3 deities. We select Gabriel. I don't know if selecting Gabrielle on its own makes RNG go differently in any way, but Gabrielle has Dia. And Dia allows me to reign over the randomizers. Okay. This way, enter at full moon. There we go. Almost no panic. Guard, guard. Cool. Say cool. I still need to pay attention. As soon as our health gets to 20, which is now, I need to stop everything and make myself ready to change the turns. Guard, heal. Now we're back to repeat until the end of this. Lots of mashing. My favorite. Okay, University at Full Moon. That's where we're heading now. Excellent. Now we try to not suck. Good so far. part is tricky. Some slightly inconvenient moving around. Okay. Magic mirror and move to top left. Right, Dia on herself and physical mirror. And yes, I know that we don't need to heal, but as I said before, every time you heal, the game calculates the number for the RNG, basically. Well, rather for the final heal amount, I should say. It takes the RNG number and calculates the heal amount. Because it's not the same every time. D is not healing for the same amount. That allows us to jump over the annoying patterns of enemy attacks. Okay, 1-8 before a new moon. This shouldn't be difficult. What is difficult, though, is to remember to use repulse water here. First time we're actually using it. I tried routing this dungeon without using repulse water because, you know, it's still a couple of seconds that you need to waste doing that. But because of that, like not having it, there are quite a few encounters that you need to avoid that you normally wouldn't have to while running like this, just in straight lines. And avoiding those encounters definitely cost way more than 2 seconds, so it's not an option. Just use the water and run. We only use it 6 times in a whole speedrun, so it's not that big of a deal. It helps even in the last dungeon. Right at the start, you have an encounter with, I don't remember what the name is of the demon. It's a big lady that looks like a fish thing. It's about level 40 or 30 something, but we immediately get rid of that encounter by using repulse water. That helps. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to go around her at the start. So that is also pretty worthy of those 2 seconds. One of the most comfortable dungeons to go through in this run. Okay, now go the correct way, I think. That'll be great. Yeah, here. Cycle to New Moon. Excellent. Although it was a bit dangerous there at the end. Was almost too early. Which maybe wouldn't be an issue, but maybe it would. Hard to say. Yeah. Dragoniteum, top left, and physical mirror, yes. Right. Now talk 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now move top right, fizz mirror, magic mirror. And yeah, as you maybe have guessed, talking to bosses or demons or whatever also progresses the RNG, so it's very neat to have it. 1, 2. Repeat. Unfortunately though, it's not usable on one of the boss fights, where it would really help if it was usable. So the alternative there was not very elegant, but still better than nothing, I guess. Just had to set up the RNG beforehand, if I could call it like this. Like, enter the room with the RNG pattern that we will need for the rest of the boss fight. However, that also meant that I'd had to walk through the whole dungeon with singular steps instead of running, which made it very slow, but we will get to that hopefully later. And it's also the worst dungeon to go through with singular steps because it's laggy as hell. Okay, now we need to recruit Len and Shi. I took a side quest just now, just so I can go and recruit her, which is quite wild, but that's what we have to do, I'm afraid. There we go. As the whole point of this new route is to get rid of fusions. Got him. Consistent and fast, I would say. Twice to the detective agency. First one to talk to Ray, which is always nice. And then second time talk to Mary, who will be mad that we just taken side quests from her and haven't completed it. But it's okay. Okay, to the shrine. 3-8 past new moon. Let's try. Good. Almost too early. Repulse water here, very important. Walking here is also very important. Okay, now we can run. Nice. Done with that. And back to Ginza. First we go to the fortune-telling house to collect our monies. You get 50,000 every time. That's a lot of money in this game. Then again, you don't get that too often. No. Potato brain. Okay. Thankfully, entering the save menu doesn't progress the RNG somehow. Right? We need to get access to a museum. That's what we're working on right now. Yeah, going on a net for the last time. Now I can actually go to the museum. One 8 past new moon, huh? Good. A very important step at the start. Very important step here. Now I can do lots of running. Well, I say lots of running. until we're stopped by this moron. We'll be dying in one turn. Is he the only boss in the game who actually dies in one turn? That's quite unfortunate for him. That's what he gets for turning Ray into statue. Talk one time, physical mirror, move top left. Talk one time, physical mirror, move top left. Now Pixie will win this fight for us. Look at this. Bam! Majestic. Could have been even faster if I didn't go to save menu accidentally, but it's okay. Now we go to the shop for the last time, actually. And 15. As I said before, I'm buying a few more just in case. You don't need that many, but just in case something happens in your run and you'll be very close to save point, for instance, and you need to try and win a fight against some weird encounter, you can throw those mirrors at them and see if you can salvage the run. It's not the worst idea in the world, I think, but I guess it can help in the last dungeon, having a few spare ones. Or if you fuck up some of the boss fights, you can just keep throwing mirrors until you win, or get killed by Migidola. That is also something that this 7 to 8. Excellent. We are on the right track. I need third floor. One thing that is not very noticeable, because I'm playing on Vita and not on the emulator right now, is that when you're running and you're getting these prompts to talk to someone and you have like yes or no on the screen, if you keep holding the button to run when you're canceling those dialogues, and if you're gonna like let go of that button, like here for example, you keep running or you let go and stop and then start moving again. That's two different RNG patterns. So in some places you have to let go, in some places you have to keep holding them. Yeah, you either memorize these or should have some notes for that as well, because that's very important. Because in that previous corridor, if you don't hold it, you will immediately get an encounter, if I recall correctly, with Patriot, I think. Well, someone you definitely can't handle, and someone who will definitely kill the run anyway, so... I really like these two dungeons now, though. They're much simpler than they were before. Especially the radio tower, this one. It's just a joy. Because previously, to avoid some of the encounters, I had to do some extremely dubious running around just to despawn them, but now... I'm slightly wiser than I was before. Slightly. And I have learned of different ways to... avoid encounters when walking or running. That helps. Okay, talk one time. Now, this mirror, magical mirror, and move top left. Talk 3 times and repeat. 1, 2, 3. Repeat. Talk 2 times and repeat. 1, 2. This is one of the more annoying fights in the run. Probably the longest one as well, but there is not much you can do. Talk 1, 2, 3. Fight, move top right, magic, Zun, and magical mirror, not fizz. There we go. Boink. Magical mirror just to survive this, and then win on this turn. Because Brain Burst get reflected with Magic Mirror. Boom. Yeah. All looks correct. Luck 22, Agility 28. Good. Oh god, we're going to Tento's mansion already. I'm not looking forward to that, because as I said, there will be a couple of rooms where it's complete darkness, and it's even more so darkness on the console. Not happy. Fun times, for sure. Also, we have to do this now. Very slow walking. We enter this, we have to say no, or we're screwed. There we go. Now we need to go back, say yes, to unscrew ourselves. Now we go to Detective Agency to talk to Ray. Who has put a lot of pieces together and knows where we need to go next. And we wouldn't be able to go there unless we took that specific request from Mary. That's why we had to go there first. Otherwise this location will be locked for reasons unbeknownst to me, but that's just how they programmed it, weirdly. I don't know. 2-8 past New Moon. Past New Moon, okay. Enough. This is somewhat tricky and somewhat important. We'll walk all the way in here. Unfortunately, there is a very annoying encounter before dropping down here, and we need to move it to that drop down point. Okay, now we'll try to see something. I can't see anything. I can only hear things. My god, but that's not the worst of it. There will be a much worse room later, where we have to spin around and do things. As I mentioned before, here you can pick up 50,000, but we don't do that anymore. We're not visiting any shops anymore, we're not recruiting any demons who would require money from us, we don't do any of that, so we don't really need money anymore. But we are able to avoid an encounter on that floor by skipping the money. But I have to say that money itself don't have anything to do with that encounter appearing, it just had to be, unfortunately, in the way of you if you go for the money first. And then you just can't avoid that encounter without jumping through a million hoops, which is just unreasonable. You're better off just skipping it entirely. Now I try to see something. One, two, three. Okay, well, I'm in the right place. Did I get the right RNG? I have no fucking clue. We'll see in a second. Had to do some spinaroonies in there. Yeah, okay. It seems fine-ish. For now. Right. We still don't run. No, we do. Let's summon the rest of our party. Move them around a bit. Ooh, and I can actually see something now. For example, my notes. That would be helpful. Physical mirror, go, move top left. Physical mirror, go, move top left. D on MC and go. Any goers? Look at them go. Boom, boom, oh, nice. This looks familiar, so maybe it's gonna be fine. The hey, 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 very good. Without us actually casting it yet. We just told her to go, and she still cast it for us. Magnificent. and got the Soma, so all is well. 26, 27, 39. Look, I can read my notes. Excellent. Haven't had that one before. Detective agency now. Now absolutely stress-free entrance to the new city hall over here. If you follow this perfectly, cycle should always be the same, so... No sweat. Maybe. Was that right? Well, we'll see soon. Keep holding here. We have just a little bit left until the save point and us being able to start the next manip sequence. Because for the 50-something minutes we have been doing a singular one so far. But no interruptions. Oh, nice. Okay. Nice. Slight panic, but I think should be okay. It loads for a very long time. Now we go from here and all the way to the sewers. The tricky one is the next bit. But it's not RNG at all. You always get turned around in the same places. One, two, three. One, two. Nice. Now we just need to give Len and She a couple of gifts. to increase her loyalty. Loyalty allows us to cast specific spells instead of just hoping she will do it. Right, left, physical mirror. Okay, right, left, physical mirror, guard, taunt. Yeah, this looks fine so far. Good. Luck 33. Strength 11. Ability 40. Good. Also, yeah, this is the laggiest dungeon I have ever seen any SMT game. And it's not gonna help that we have to walk through it instead of running. It will be agonizing, but it has to be done. We'll run here. Well, if you can call this running, and then we'll walk all the way. By walking like this, without running, by the time we get to the boss, we'll progress the RNG in such a way that the boss will be using physical attacks against us, which is perfect. Well, that also means that we have to do something specific on turn 1 in addition to that, but for turn 1 especially, that's important, that he actually smacks us his hands instead of using magic, because magic, well, we can't really hurt him with magic quickly enough, I should say. Top middle, physical, top left. Top middle, physical, top left, ear, offense, extra taunt. Yeah, this looks right. Press repeat and win, hopefully. Okay. Avicii Hill, sewers, forest, and the last dungeon. So, not that long left, but very easy to screw it up, as the first run did, essentially. This dungeon is not difficult, though. But you have to be careful. It's very short, but it's very laggy, and it's very easy to get lost. But what is more important is to say no to Haron here, otherwise he will send you back to the beginning of this dungeon, which is a bit unoptimal for a speedrun, I would say. Right. Escape that. Now for the final stretch. For some story related stuff, we still need to open the locker here and get the thing. Then we need to go to talk to Sid, and then go to sewers and make one of our last saves. And reset the manip. Well, we're not resetting it per se, but there are things in this game that I haven't really talked about. I'm just taking it for granted now. Called doors that can be opened from only one side. Also known as one-way doors. But in PSP version we can glitch through them if we save load the game, so we're doing that. 3-8 before new moon. Okay. Okay. No panic whatsoever. It is very unlikely that you will see any of the encounters here, but you should still keep them in mind. And not wander off in a wrong direction. Okay, this is not the last time we're gonna be resetting the game. There'll be at least one more. Right before the final bosses. And not specifically to have them set up in such way that we need to reset RNG to defeat them now. We just have another one-way door there. But thankfully saving and loading the game allows us to go through it. Okay. No cocking about, I actually need to focus maybe. Although I have noticed the more I focus, the less composure I have. Oddly enough. Starting from the last save, all the movement that we are doing is very important, because once we're gonna arrive at the forest, the encounters that we will be seeing will be based on the current RNG that we are on, essentially. So if you screw something up in here while walking and progressing the RNG, you might see something that you don't want to see. Ideally, you obviously don't want to see any encounters, because that's the point of the manip, but you know how it is. Okay. Entered at exactly half. That's good. Now we'll see if I screwed something up in the sewers. No, all is well. You would immediately get an encounter there in your face. Alright. Repulse water for the last time. And here we go. Holy mother of lags. This is agonizing. You might see me go the wrong way here a couple of times, but it's necessary to despawn the encounters, or rather avoid them. Halfway through, more or less. Next frame, please. Good God. from here to make one step, right? Yes. Now for the part that is probably the most difficult one in the whole run. That's the floor after this one. I hope I remember something. If not, well, let's hope I will escape without dying. First we run. Now we slowly walk, 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 turn around, walk, walk. This way, this way, this way, turn around, run, walk, walk the wrong way, turn around, walk, turn around, run, walk. Yes. Panic. Walk, 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 walk through the door, turn around, run through 2 doors, walk over here, walk, 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 turn around, walk, and then run. Oh my god, insane. Okay. It's actually just 3 vertical corridors that keep turning you around in specific places. But because you want to do that sort of, you know, fast, because that's technically a speedrun, somewhere in there is a speedrun happening. You want to try and run in places where you can run, and walk in places where you can't, obviously. There are also encounters that can happen there, so those weird running sequences for 2 tiles are mostly to avoid those. Righty. The final stretch to final bosses. Nothing weird happening here though, except for this one little step that you have to do. This one, before running. That allows you to avoid the encounter right in front of you, but apart from that, it's just mostly running. After that save, 3 bosses. Just have to pay attention, there is nothing difficult happening, except for the very first turn that we have to do, where we're gonna set ourselves up for the rest of the boss rush. And then we're just gonna keep repeating that turn over and over and over again. Basically, girls are winning us the final boss fight because MC is not doing anything. Middle, left, left. Middle, left, left. This and this. Yep. Main character is just moving around. He's not doing anything. Such is the life. Okay, talk 1 time and repeat. Red. Yes. Good. Now for the goddess herself. Turn 1, repeat. Then talk 2 times and repeat again. 1, 2, repeat. And that's a win. This poor pixie is reflecting all the damage of this planet right back at the boss. And it will be sort of the same here. Ish. Talk 2 times and repeat. One, two. Okay. We're not gonna listen to this music for too long, though. Okay. Not too bad. Shame that it took me 4 hours to get this going, but this was mostly okay. There was some dubious menuing in a few places, but I don't think it cost me 117, at least not to my skill level. We'll see. I think for console I will settle for this. I want to do a run on the emulator though. Question is, will I do it immediately? Thanks, John. So yeah, slow start because we had to recruit demons. But then because we don't have to go and visit Victor anymore to fuse demons, and we don't have to visit the shop one more time, we don't have to visit the Yen to Mag exchange place, we're starting to save lots of time at museum and beyond. Dungeons themselves and a couple of boss fights are also faster, so that's where some extra time save came from. I would say that Tendo's Mansion is definitely the sketchiest place to do on console because it's completely dark in 2 rooms, like pure blackness. The only thing I could really use is the compass that was showing me where the north and south is. So, yeah. if you take way more risk than I did, though, like, you could see me taking those steps, the singular ones, really carefully, because I know how the game likes to interpret 2 steps in a row sometimes as a running. If you take them less carefully and risk it a bit more, I think you could do 117, but I don't know. Question is, how much is too much when it comes to that? I don't know.